Negative Amazon account balances. That's what we're going to be talking about. And this may be affecting you. Maybe you're a newbie, you're excited, you're getting everything, you're actually getting sales. And then, we're supposed to get paid out every 2 weeks, right? Isn't that how Amazon does it? You don't get paid anything. And then on top of that, you go out to your account, you look, and you see a zero, or even worse, a negative balance in your account. This can be very frustrating. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take a look at some of the factors that can affect whether or not you get paid and how much. And we're actually going to look at one of the working class hustlers' account to kind of see if we can dissect this and maybe get you some information, because this can be very frustrating, especially for newbies. We're going to get into it right now. This is what to sell on Amazon. I'm Horace. Let's go. Okay, hustlers, thank you for taking a moment out of your day to spend with me. I really do appreciate it. My name is Horace, also known as La Machine, and on this channel, we focus on everything to do with selling on Amazon, particularly using the arbitrage business model. So if you're interested in that, we've got plenty of videos, but we're always coming out with more. We're always looking to add value. So if you're serious and you really want to get going, go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified. We publish 4 videos. That's right, 4 videos every week, and we focus on newbies because you guys need leads and they need to be ungated. That is the primary focus, teaching you the skills of how to search and find profitable products. That's what it all boils down to. But back to this video, like I was saying, it can be very frustrating for new sellers when it comes to where is your money. And the way Amazon works, it can be a little frustrating to figure out what's going on with the money. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a few things that might help you figure out what's going on. Okay. Now, a quick disclaimer, I may not be able to answer all of your questions and tell you right away why you are showing a negative balance, but we can definitely look at some things together and try to make some sense out of it. And by the way, what prompted me is that I have working class hustlers asking me questions about everything. And lately there's been some questions coming about what's going on with their payments. And on that note, just as a quick aside, if you're interested and if you'd like to get connected with me, just click the number that you see on your screen. Text the words working class hustler to the number that you see on your screen, and I will get you connected. And then once we're connected, you can start asking questions. And guys, I'm telling you, hustlers do it all the time. And once we're connected, I start getting the questions. Hey, Horace, you said we could connect. We're connected now. Give me what I came for. Where's my money? And then I go, let's look into that. And then you force me to get better, and we grow as a family. So welcome to the Working Class Hustler family, and let's keep moving. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that you are familiar with Amazon's policies and how they pay. Now, to do this, you're going to want to visit the Seller University inside your Seller Central account. And I'm going to show you, when we get into the account, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Okay. Number 2, you want to be familiar with Amazon's Services and Business Solutions Agreement. That's something that we don't really get into, because that's a lot of paper, that's a lot of reading, that's a lot of fine print, that's a lot of language that's not used on a regular basis, and that's not the fun part, right? The fun part is finding products, making those sales, collecting the money. Okay, but you do need to have at least some working knowledge of how it works, because you could be frustrated and unnecessarily because you just don't know the rules. Okay. You also need to know when it comes to sales, what type of customer purchased the products? Because if it's a business customer, you'll see it in the sales as a under business. You can see that they have a business account, and those Amazon customers have up to like a month or so to pay everything that they have in their balance. You need to understand estimated delivery date, because Amazon really doesn't make any funds available to you until they have a projected delivery date. And I'm talking, we're talking, if you're doing FBA, if you're doing merchant fulfilled, then you need to, of course, as quickly as possible fulfill the order, and then you need to update the system with a carrier that they are integrated with, and then they can go through that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take a look. We get set up here. We're going to take a look at one of the Working Class Hustlers account, just to give you an idea of what's going on here, and hopefully we can bring some clarity, especially if you're having some issues with this. So let's just cut on over, and just so you can understand, this is a newbie. So if you're a newbie, you'll see stuff like this. Today sells nothing, okay? But if you look over the last 30 days, this hustler has had roughly about $200, and you can see a balance of $117. But then when they go over to payments, and you see total balance $117.89, funds available nothing. No recent transfers. That can be very frustrating. So here's what we want to do. Before we go any further, we're going to dissect this just a little bit, but here's what we're going to look at. Okay. Number one, when you get into your account and you come over to performance, you want to come down to Seller University. And when you do that, then you need to, along the left-hand margin, there are just things, Amazon has this actually set up pretty good. So you could come over to, say, payment, and then how the payment process works on Amazon. And when you click that, you actually have a video that actually breaks it down, okay? Let's look at a couple of other things that I kind of had set up. Estimated delivery date, okay? This is the estimated date when the customer is expected to receive the order. We calculate this date based on how long it takes to ship the item, and handling time, and how long it remains in transit, okay? Here's that Amazon Services Business Solutions Agreement. If you don't know how to navigate to it, you can just type things right into the search and you can find out, okay? And you need to understand, for example, watch this, because this is going to be important. We're going to come back to this. The point you want to highlight is, we may, in our sole discretion, withhold any payments to you for as long as we determine any related risks to Amazon or third parties persist. Now, we're going to get into that, but a couple other things I want to point out. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me see if I can. Because a lot of times what we want to do, we want to be able to just be able to search and figure out things for ourselves. The biggest skill that I love to teach is, you don't have to know all the answers, but you do want to know how to find them. And they're so simple. Let me give you an example. If you just go to Google, I typed in a phrase, type it in the way you're thinking it, the way you would speak it. I sold products on Amazon, but don't see the money. That's it. And then you start seeing different things that you can look at. Money from recent sales not showing in payment summary. You can look and into the forums and see what people are saying, and that's going to help you out, okay? Because people are going to kind of show you, and you can read to see what other people have gone through with this. Okay, so that's very important, just knowing how to research things. And then, like, for example, they actually give you a graph like thing that you can be able to look at and see how long your funds are gonna stay in reserve. At the end of the day, this is Amazon, so we don't know exactly how long they're gonna hold your funds, but it shouldn't be too crazy. The biggest deal is you not knowing what the heck is going on. That's the biggest thing. And what I want to show you, back to the screen that we were looking at that has the video. If you just come to, let's see if this works. We're going to learn more about payments. Okay, that kind of took us right where we were. So let's see here. Well, here's what we'll do. Here's what you need to pay attention to. All right, if you come over to the let's see, we want to come over to payments, which is under the reports tab, and you come over to payments. And remember what we were looking at? We had 0 funds available now, and then this is what funds were available at the last settlement, or what are going to be available at the settlement end. Most recent payouts, nothing. And then you can kind of see if ever there's a question mark. Now watch what happens here, because what you're seeing is net proceeds, beginning balance, sales nothing, expenses nothing, account level reserve nothing. So that means that this should be available for the next payout. But this hustler is saying, hey, since I've had this account, I've had this period. Look at what happened. Now we're talking from September the 10th to September the 24th. From that period, they had nothing. And then they had expenses. Okay. So there you had a negative balance. And here you can see, this is, if we click on that, that's most likely, well, we're not going to get into that. We'd have to actually get all into the report, but that is most likely the fee to have your seller account. You got to understand, Amazon takes their money right away. Okay. Now here's where things get interesting. This is the period that just closed, right? From September the 24th to October the 8th, that just closed. Now watch what happens. This is what was freaking this hustler out. You've got a negative balance. Actually, I don't even think they saw this, but the point is this: you've got this amount is in reserve. Okay, so you've had this amount in sales, this amount in expenses, and then you had this amount in reserve. So this is probably what's left. So let's do a quick calculation. If you had a beginning, now remember, you had a beginning balance in this period that was already minus 2423 coming from the previous period. But if you had 22,379 and then you had expenses of 8167, and what do you got? Then you take out the 2423 that was brought forward from the last period. Remember the first period, you had At the end of everything, you ended up with a negative balance. So you got nothing paid out. Then you went to the next pay period. You carried that negative balance forward. You had your sales, you had your expenses, and then this is what you're going to get paid on, and that hustler should be getting paid this. But no funds are available just yet because it's in reserve. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys. Like I said, I know that it can be a little frustrating, but here's what you got to understand. What you got to understand is this: Amazon is not going to cheat you. You're going to have to learn how to navigate. This is good. I'm glad the hustlers are coming to me and saying, hey, help me out here, because it's forcing me to get better. It's forcing us to grow as a family. This is the biggest part of this is the money, right? So we just need to understand what's going on. And I hope this brought out some clarity to it. Anybody have anything of value to add, your own experiences, please, for the benefit of the working class hustlers of America, leave a comment. Okay, if I didn't answer a question, hey, leave a comment, or remember, connect. Okay, let's make that a little bit bigger. Make that a little bit bigger for the hustlers, huh? There we go. Move that up a little bit. Yeah. So make sure you connect, and we'll work and figure it out together. Okay? That's how we do it around here. All right. And by the way, look down in the description and take advantage of the free resources that we have. We've got the Lightning course. We've got the Lightning course part 2, where we're just giving away everything that you need to be finding those searches using my favorite software, which is Tactical Arbitrage. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and I'll see you in that next video.